everybody, what is going on? My name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to be talking about this is only seven of the history's most notorious serial killers. Now, this is only 7 of them and they may not, from what I could tell, they're all very popular. I've only never heard of one. So I'm going to do a brief little history, and this is based on the Britannica website. So I'll be sharing that link in the description. Number 7 is Jack the Ripper. Now we call him Jack the Ripper because we don't really know who was the person behind the murder spree. Now, the killer appeared in London's Whitechapel district in 1888 and murdered 5 women, all prostitute, and mutilated their corpses. Police surmised the killer was a surgeon, butcher, or someone skilled with a scalpel. The killer mocked the community and the police by sending letters outlining the acts. Although many suspects have been named over the years, the killer was never identified. Number 6, a man I did a video on recently, Jeffrey Dahmer. He started killing in 1978. He was just 18 years old. Wasn't arrested for murder until 1991. After a would-be victim escaped and led police right to his house. It was there that some of the gruesome details of his life of killing were seen via photos of mutilated bodies and body parts strewn across his apartment. He even had a vat of acid he used to dispose victims. In all, he killed 17 people, mostly young men of a darker shade color than himself. He served time in prison twice. First time was for molesting, and the second time was for murder. He was killed by a fellow inmate. Now, I did do a video about him. Go ahead and make sure you check that video out. Now, again, I've said it before, I'm not for any sort of crime, even if they're, different than you in one way or another. So keep that in mind. Number 5. Now, this is one I have not heard of before, so you're going to have to tell me if you let me know if you've heard of him. Harold Shipman, also known as Dr. Death. It is believed that he has killed at least 218 patients, although the total is likely closer to 250. This doctor practiced in London between 1972 and 1998, worked in 2 different offices, killing that whole time. He wasn't caught until a red flag was raised by several people, including an undertaker who was surprised by the sheer number of cremation certifications Shipman was part of, along with the fact that most of the cases were elderly women found to have died in bed not at night but rather during the day. Because apparently some old person dying in their bed during the day, they could have been taking a nap. They could have just laid down for a second. Or maybe they just had some chest pains. They wanted to okay. I'm going to continue. Police mishandled the investigation and Shipman kept killing until he got greedy and tried to concoct a will for a victim that named him beneficiary, which led the victim's daughter to become suspicious. He was finally convicted in the year 2000. 2000, guys? And committed suicide while in prison in 2004. If you guys want, let me know in the comment section down below if you want me to do my own separate video on Harold Shipman. I would love to do a little bio about him. Next, John Wayne Gacy. I also just did a video about him recently. A construction worker. And, he even played a clown for birthday parties. He became suspicious when a 15-year-old boy went missing, who was last seen with him. This wasn't the only time families of missing boys had pointing fingers at Gacy. It was the first time authorities took him seriously. There was a search warrant. They found nearly 30 bodies in the foot crawl space under his home. He was convicted of 33 counts of murder with additional counts of rape and torture. He was executed by lethal injection in 1994. I did do a little bio video about him, so if you do want to make sure you check that out as well. Number 3 is H.H.Holmes. Chicago has had its share of killers, but perhaps none more haunting than H.H.Holmes, the pharmacist who turned a hotel into a torture castle. Out of 1893's World's Fair, Holmes moved to Chicago and started outfitting a 3-star hotel with a manner of nefarious contraptions, including gas lines, secret passages, trapdoors, hallways to dead ends, chutes to the basement, soundproof padding. torture devices strewn throughout a maze. The gas allowed Holmes to knock out his guests before the worst of what was to happen came next, often on his surgical tables. He then burned the bodies in the building's furnace, selling skeletons in medical schools and running life insurance scams. In all, he copped to more than 30 murders. Found only after a fellow scammer turned him in for falling short on a financial agreement, he was hanged in 1896. Same as the other guy. If you guys do want me to make my own little video about him, make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. Number 2 is Pedro Lopez. I also did a video about him, but here's a quick little reminder for you. He was linked to more than 300 murders in Colombia and Ecuador and Peru. So that's a lot. At least 1/3 of those murders were tribal women. Women. He was arrested in 1980. The police found graves of more than 50 victims, which would be preteen. He was later convicted of murdering 110 girls in Ecuador and confessed to 240 more murders in Colombia and Peru. He was called the Monster of the Andes. He didn't even spend 20 years in prison. He was released in 1998 for good behavior. No one knows where he is. And he's also linked to another murder recently. So I did do a video about that. I kind of went into more detail, but that's basically the sum of it. So again, we need to be careful. He is still at large as of the last I had heard. Number 1 on this list is Ted Bundy himself. He loved the attention. Murders that he gave garnished him. He loved attention. And many in the United States are more than happy to give him that attention. He ended up getting married while in prison. All these things. Oh, my goodness. Murders. He mostly murdered college-age women that were by themselves, like in dark alleyways and things like that. Now, if you guys watch, there is a TV show about him on Netflix or a movie. I think it's a movie or a TV show. I don't remember. But it is on Netflix if you guys do want to check that out. He acted as his own lawyer because he believed that his original lawyer was not doing anything for him. Bit brutal, a bit much, I think, for someone that's accused of murder. You'd think you'd want a professional to handle your case, not yourself. Then again, Ted Bundy was extremely smart. He would have been one of the best lawyers of his age if he didn't go on a murder spree. He was He was executed in the electric chair in 1989. Now, there is another part to this site as well, which I may do a quick video on. It's about unique burial rituals. I'm going to make that a separate video. So I do hope you guys liked the video, if you found it informative. Now let me know if you do want me to make videos on Harold Shipman and H.H.Holmes. I would love to do videos on it, but I want to make sure you guys are interested in them first. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.